What's going on, everybody? This is Brian from SneakerFiles.com, recapping the news, and before I jump into things, like always, greatly appreciate a thumbs up, and if you're new here, subscribe by hitting the button below. Now, I'm sure you see the thumbnail, so we got a lot of stuff to go over, but I just want to give you guys a heads up. The SF OG t-shirt is back in stock. They are still limited to 100. We haven't sold 100 units yet. We're almost to the halfway point. Pre-orders are now live. There will be a link in the description below. We're going to run that for a couple weeks or until we sell out. Once 100 has been sold, this includes the first drop, of course, it's gone. It's done. Again, I appreciate your guys' support. Thank you to everyone who picked one up when they first dropped. In advance, I appreciate you guys who pick one up today or going forward. One more thing, I also dropped a review and comparison of the Air Jordan 3 Black Cement. The comparison will be with the 2024, 2018, and the 2011 release. There will be a link in the description below if you want to check that out. Now, as for the highlights in this video, there's been some news going around that the Travis Scott Air Jordan 4 in purple would be releasing in 2025. I'm going to go over that later on in the video. As well, we have an updated mock-up for the Fragment Union Air Jordan 1 High OG collaboration, and a first look at the Air Jordan 4 Seafoam. Now, there's a lot more from Jordan Brand and a solid lineup from Nike. And now let's jump into the news. Starting off with Nike, this pair might not be for everybody, but coming soon, we have the Nike Kobe 6 Grinch Cleats. Now, the official name of the shoe is the Nike Vapor Edge Kobe 6 Grinch Cleat, and for those that don't know, this pair resembles the original Kobe 6 Grinch release. Now, that pair was initially dropped in 2010. We saw a retro take place in 2020, a classic shoe. That's a shoe that I wish I owned. I missed out on both releases, and the resale price is just crazy on those. So, the shoes feature a green apple, black vault in bright crimson colorway, which of course resembles the first drop. They also feature green on the upper with reptile texture, and then we have black on the swooshes, and crimson hits the Kobe branding as well as his signature. Now, the biggest difference obviously is the outsole, and that's where it's meant for football players. We have a cleated outsole. Now, as for the release date, so people are reporting that November 22nd is when they're going to release. I did look around. I didn't see them on any release calendars just yet. It is possible that Nike just drops them out of nowhere on November 22nd, but don't be surprised if the release does take place later, and the retail price will be $230. In my opinion, one of the better releases from the A Ma Maniere While You Were Sleeping collection is the Nike Air Force 1 Low. Now, not only do we have additional photos, but we do have a release date. I think these look really nice. I love the leather on them. They look premium. Of course, you want to get them in hand to check that out, but it's something simple. It's not over the top. It's just a clean pair overall, and I do like the semi-translucent rubber outsole. I think it looks good on them, but I'm definitely not trying to sell you, just giving you my opinion. As for the release date, they're going to drop on November 22nd via A Ma Maniere. So alongside the shoes, they're also dropping a varsity jacket, and these will be released on November 22nd at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time via amamaniere.com. Now, on the same day, A Ma Maniere locations in Atlanta, DC, and Houston will also have them. The retail price is $150. The Nike Air CB34 is returning in 2025, and one of the colorways that will be released is the triple white pair. So this pair last dropped in 2016. And once again, for fall 2025, we're going to have the chance to purchase. Now, this pair features a white, and white colorway. That's why they're being called triple white. I'll be honest, I like the model. I'm just not a fan of the colorway. I really hope that we see some OG colorways release. But as you can see, the shoes feature white throughout. They also come constructed with leather. We have perforations on the panel and toe box. The signature midfoot strap is also present, done in white. We have the swoosh embroidered. CB34 branding lands on the tongue, and we have mesh across the tongue as well, and the collar. Other details includes a white midsole, translucent air unit in the heel, and a white rubber outsole. So They are expected to drop fall 2025, which means the release will take place between July and September, and the retail price will be $150. During ComplexCon, Nike unveiled a new shoe known as the Nike Air Max 1000. Now, I'm going to read a bit from Nike's press release, as well add in some additional details. Now, I'm not going to read their entire press release because it has a lot of stuff outside of the Air Max 1000, but I'll kind of just read over the, I guess you could say, important parts. Front and center will be a new expression of Nike Air, a fluid, expressive technology that's right for continuous reinvention. Through the pairing of creatives and innovators with advanced digital tools, Nike has reimagined the Air Max 1 to create the 3D printed Air Max 1000, a new silhouette manufactured with Zellerfeld, I believe that's how you pronounce it, that debuts this weekend at ComplexCon. At the Air Max 1000 experience, attendees will have the opportunity to win a pair of exclusive sneakers available only at ComplexCon. They'll also be able to explore both the future of Air innovation and the origins of the trademark Nike technology, from encapsulated Air inventor Frank Rudy's desk to original Nike Air sole unit prototypes. As an innovator, what's most exciting to me about the Air Max 1000 are the new solutions we can achieve with next-level manufacturing, says John Hook, I believe that's how you pronounce it, Chief Innovation Officer. It's control times precision times expression, all of which are vital to sport and to design. When those variables of control, precision, and expression are multiplied at once, the future of our product really does feel unlimited. Joining the Air Max 1000 experience is the Cactus Coliseum, an immersive look into a world fueled by soccer, sneakers, and community, presented by Nike and Travis Scott. And so it kind of leads off to some of the other stuff that was shown off at ComplexCon, and that's where we're going to end Nike's press release. Now, the shoes feature a sleek, laceless design, and its upper is crafted using 3D printing. Now, the overall branding on the shoe is kind of minimal. We only have a debossed swoosh on the sides. On the Air Max unit, it reads Air Max 1000, and that's all we could pretty much see as far as branding. I'm not sure about the actual tongue. I'm sure there's something on the insoles and possibly heels, but again, we don't have photos of that. Now, what was shown off in the press release and even at the event was a red pair, which is shown here. However, images did pop up of additional colorways. We have one in all black with a little bit of volt. We have one in blue, another pair in orange, and then the last pair in white. It's more like a cell or a cream hue. Now, according to rumors, the model is going to debut in spring 2025, although, I'll be honest with you, I have yet to receive 100% confirmation on that. So it could be later on, and currently we don't have a retail price. I'll say the design is unique. I like it. Yes, it does resemble that of the Air Max 1, but I think it looks good. Not as good as the Air Max 1, but for what they're trying to do here. Anyways, when there's more information, I definitely will make sure to let you guys know. Let me know your thoughts on the new model down in the comment section below. We have official photos of the Nike Air Foamposite 1 in black and Vault, being just called Black Vault. And a release will take place soon, although we don't have a specific release date, but they are expected to drop soon. Now, these official photos give us our best look yet as well. It shows off some details that we haven't seen before. Now, I don't think I saw this in the previous images, but the insoles will be mismatched. We have Nike Air branding on one and the Penny logo on the other. The one with the Penny logo features a green backdrop, and then the one with Nike and Air branding has a black backdrop. Overall, I think these are pretty clean, and I know in previous videos I said, I know these remind me of something. I feel like these released before, I just couldn't put my finger on it. Well, the pair somewhat resembles that of the 2007 release of the Nike Air Foamposite 1 Cactus, and then in 2011, we saw the electric green release. It kind of reminds me of those two. Now, the shading of green is a little bit different, but the overall blocking is the same. We have black up top across the Foamposite shell, nubuck on the eye stays. It covers the tongue, liner, most of the shoe, but what accents it and brings it to life is Volt, which hits the branding, pull tabs, runs down the tongue, and covers the semi-translucent rubber outsole. For a new colorway, because I guess that's what we're going to call them, even though they do resemble some past ones, I think these are nice. They're definitely clean. And as for a release date, unfortunately, we don't have one, but this pair is expected to drop spring 2025, which means the release will take place between January and March of 2025. Also, the retail price will be $240. Speaking of official photos, we have official photos of the upcoming Nike SB Dunk Low Seattle Supersonics. Not only do we have the official images, we have a potential release date. So this pair comes dressed in a fur, which is green, white, university gold, and fire red colorway. Now, the colors used resemble that of the 1995 to 2001 Seattle Supersonics jerseys. One part that I do like about the shoes is the tongues. As you can see, it features a jersey-like mesh overlay. Now, of course, Nike SB isn't going to use Seattle Supersonics branding. That would have been dope, though. But the pair does feature green on the overlays. It hits the eye stays as well. And then we have red across the base, tongue, and ankle. White fills in the swoosh, which is outlined in gold. Gold also fills in the tongue, insole, and heel branding. And then another element I really like about this shoe is the gum rubber outsole. Now, as for the release date, this pair is expected to drop on December 17th, and the retail price will be $125. Now, this pair to me also has Christmas vibes, so I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if Nike was trying to pass it off as a Christmas shoe, although I have seen some Nike SB Seattle Supersonics inspired shirts that leaked. I'm not sure if those actually released yet or if they're going to, but the shirt is really dope as well. If I can find some images, I'll throw it in the video. Another thing that I do like is that SBs are sitting. Yes, the collaborations aren't going to, but some of the inline colorways, they're not moving. So this pair more than likely will sit. I know another shoe that I really want to pick up is the S-Cargo SB Dunk Low, and I believe you can get those for $80 on Nike. Now, I know they're on sale, but there's like a promo code you can use to drop them down to $80. So if I can also find the promo code in time, I'll put it up on the screen if anybody's interested, and that works for a lot of other shoes also. Official images recently popped up of the Awake NY Jordan Airship and Game Royal. Now, some of you may have already bought these because they dropped at Awake NY on November 2nd. However, there's a wider release, and that will take place on the Sneakers app on November 20th. So by the time this video goes live, only a couple more days until they drop. And in my opinion, I like this pair a lot more than the previous one, which is known as University Red. And the official colorway on these is Cell, Game Royal, and Metallic Platinum. Another heads up, this is probably going to be the last Jordan Airship to be released in some time. There's none on the calendar for 2025 that I've seen yet. Of course, that can change, but if you like the colorway and are a fan of the model and you want to pick it up, November 20th is when you can do so on the Sneakers app for $150. In this video, we do have a lot of sets of official images, and the next pair I'm going to talk about is the Air Jordan 12 Phantom. Now, this is a women's exclusive release, and I'll say overall, they're decent, they're nice. They do remind me of the OVO 12, but I'm sure these are going to be a lot cheaper than those. And the official colorway on these is Phantom, Metallic Gold, and White. Now, if you like them, my suggestion is to be patient because these are definitely going to sit. December is when they're going to drop. I'll give you the specific release date in a moment. And there's so much stuff dropping in December, I mean, even in November, that these are going to get overlooked. Although it's a clean colorway, I do like that it features Phantom instead of like a true white. So it's kind of like an off-white. The metallic gold details also gives it like a premium, luxurious look to a certain extent. I know that's kind of a weird word to use with Jordan brand because they're not really known for their quality of materials, at least in my opinion. Some of you guys might be happy with it, and that's totally fine. But yeah, just wanted to share the official images. And as for the release date, they're going to drop on December 2nd, and the retail price will be $200. Okay, so I believe this is our last set of official photos for this video, but we got more news, and we got official images of the Air Jordan 1 Low OG Game Royal. Now, I like these. These are clean. As most of you know, they resemble that of the 2018 release of the Air Jordan 1 High OG Game Royal. There is some differences. For example, it features an aged midsole, the tongue is white instead of black, and of course, they're a low-top shoe. But other than that, they feature white leather across the base, Game Royal lands on the leather overlays, and then we have black on the swoosh, liner, laces, and the wings logo on the heels. Other details includes an aged midsole and a blue rubber outsole. Again, I like these. These are clean. It's not something that I'm going to need to buy, and more than likely they'll go on sale, but they're going to drop on November 30th, and the retail price will be $140. Months, and I mean months ago, I leaked that we had an upcoming Travis Scott Jordan Jumpman Jack TR known as Taupe Haze. Now, I did a mock-up, Z and I did, and we didn't know how it was going to look. We just put together a mock-up based off of the colorway, which is Taupe Haze, Cell, Thunder Blue, and Gum Light Brown. Now, they were supposed to drop on August 22nd. However, that day came and left, and we didn't get a release. I did get quite a few comments asking what happened to them. I wasn't sure, but at ComplexCon, the shoes were on display giving us a first look, and this is what we're going to get. And I gotta admit, this is a lot better than the mock-up that Z and I put together. I think they're clean. Now, as you can see, we have canvas across the base, which is done in blue. And then Taupe Haze will cover most of the overlays done in suede. The same shade also hits the eye stays, midfoot strap, laces, and the midsole. And then we have a darker shade across the swoosh. Other details includes the signature Travis Scott branding and a gum rubber outsole that comes up onto the midsole. Now, we only have the one image, so we can't see all of the branding, but I'm sure it features all the standard Travis Scott branding. Now, some people are reporting that the shoe is going to drop in fall 2025, and I don't think it's going to be that long. I believe it was delayed until 2025, but fall, I don't think that's going to happen because this was actually part of Jordan Brand's fall 2024 collection. If anything, there is a possibility they could still drop in 2024, but I'm leaning towards spring 2025 or even summer. Also, the retail price will be $200. Well, you may have seen it, you may have not, but apparently a first look was going around of the Air Jordan 1 High OG medium olive. Now, a lot of you guys who've been watching for a while know that I talked about this shoe being scrapped, no longer releasing for unknown reasons. I have no idea why Jordan Brand decided to scrap them. These are actually really nice in my opinion. And the reason we received this first look is due to DTLR. So at the time of recording this, they have a landing page that is still live for this shoe that reads coming soon. Now, this has led a lot of people to doubt that the shoes have been scrapped. They are still releasing. I've even seen a few people take jabs, and that's okay because we're going to break this down right here. Now, if you look at DTLR's page, which I'll have a screenshot here, there's something that we all need to notice, and that is the wings logo. Notice how it's backwards? That's because this is a Photoshop. This image that was made months ago, they just either took that photo or redid it, and they forgot to flip the Air Jordan wings logo around so it's backwards. Now, if you click through to all their other images of the Air Jordan 1, it has the toe box facing in the right direction. And they wanted to make sure that it was facing the right way, but they forgot to swap the wings logo around. They're the only website, or I should say the only retailer that I've seen that has these listed to be released. Again, I haven't done any digging, but for sure they're the only landing page that I've seen with the shoes up. But it's a mock-up. Yes, this is how they're supposed to look, but they're not going to be released. And whoever's the webmaster for DTLR, no offense, but you got to do a better job. Because I've been noticing a lot of errors even on their release calendars. Because I check multiple release calendars as well as with my sources for like release dates and things like that. And I've just noticed a lot of errors on the DTLR website. So yeah, unfortunately, these aren't releasing. I wish it was true, believe me, because I would definitely pick these up. But let me know your thoughts on this pair down in the comment section below. Another shoe leaked for 2025, and this is the Air Jordan 4 Seafoam. This is a women's exclusive release. And again, I put a mock-up out of this shoe months ago, and that mock-up was just to talk about the upcoming release. I had no idea how they were going to look, but it turns out the mock-up that Z and I did was on point. It looks almost identical to that. Now, I do remember people did like the look. So if you see this video, let me know if your mind has changed or not. Now, the official colorway is Seafoam, Cell, and Metallic Silver. Going over the shoes, they feature Seafoam, which is a shade of green across the upper that also lands on the mesh panels, tongue, laces, and heel. Cell will fill in the Jumpman on the tongue, but then we have Seafoam on the Jumpman on the heel as well as the backdrop. And then Metallic Silver will land on the winged eyelets, and Cell covers the midsole. Finishing the look is more Cell on the outsole, and we have what looks to be a darker shade of green in select areas. I think these are decent. They're not bad, but again, 2025 is stacked, so this isn't a pair that, I'm really going to go after or anything, but maybe some of you guys might like it, and they're going to drop on March 8th for $215. We have a bit of an update for the upcoming Fragment Union Air Jordan 1 High OG. Now, just to recap my previous video, or not the previous video, but the previous time I spoke about these shoes, I did a mock-up which was close to what's releasing, although it wasn't 100% accurate. Now, rumors started to circulate that a collaboration between Fragment Design and Union would happen on the Air Jordan 1 High OG. Now, from my sources, I heard that it's potentially going to drop in 2025, but I was also told don't be surprised if they're delayed until 2026. Also, I did put a mock-up out based on some of the info that I gathered, but again, I said it wasn't accurate, although I said that I was told it was close. But thanks to Mr. Unloved Ones, we do have accurate color blocking on the shoes, and what's being shown right now is what's planned to be released if it does happen. Currently, we don't have a specific colorway, nor do we have a style code, but there are samples that were made of the shoes. So again, it's like a fusion model. It takes elements from Fragment's past designs as well as Union LA's. You have the DIY-like stitching on the collar. The overlay up top will be done in red. The tongue will feature black. We'll have red branding on the tongue as well. And then blue wraps the heel with the Fragment double lightning bolt logo, which we've seen on previous collabs. White leather covers the base, and then black leather runs across the eye stays, collar around the toe, and the swoosh. Now the wings logo will be done in black. I'm going to assume that it's going to have a Cell midsole, so somewhat giving it an aged look, and then blue on the rubber outsole. These are nice. These are really, really nice in my opinion. Will I be able to get them if they do drop? Probably not. Now, as for the release date, like I mentioned, they're not 100% confirmed yet to be released. Yes, there are samples made. They're planning for 2025, but again, there's a possibility it could get pushed to 2026. And no retail price at the time of recording, although if they're going to drop, more than likely they're going to be at minimum 200. I wouldn't be surprised if they were higher than that. But let me know your thoughts on this pair down below. With the accurate blocking, is this a cop or pass for you? Last week, some news dropped that had a lot of IG pages and even blogs reporting on it, and that is that the Travis Scott Air Jordan 4 in purple would be releasing in 2025. Now, unfortunately, I dropped my fall 2025 Air Jordan releases video on Thursday, so I didn't cover this shoe because this would be part of the news series, but I did receive quite a few comments asking if it was true or not. Now, before I get into all that, the source of this information comes from an individual on Twitter, now known as X, by the name of Do It Big Chicago. He first tweets out 2024 GR incoming and then retweets it with a quote saying typo 2025 GR incoming. After he posted that, a lot of people started to repost the info. Most of the people were saying rumored, so I'll give them credit for that. They didn't say it was 100% confirmed, but you still have those people that will run for any opportunity to post something without vetting it, if it's any type of truth to it or anything like that, just to ramp up likes and clicks, something, I'm not really a fan of. I try to avoid that at all costs. Yes, you can make an argument. I have it in my thumbnail, so people are going to click it, but at the same time, I'm bringing you the information that I'm told, and I'm going to do that now. So again, I asked all my sources. They said, no, it's not going to happen. There are no plans for this shoe to be released. It's kind of funny because some of them even act like I was dumb for even asking, and I'm like, well, it's kind of going around. I wouldn't just randomly ask about this shoe. So I had to show them, some of the pages that were sharing it. and there was no additional details. Now, just to further it, Mr. Unloved Ones, who is a very trusted source, he gets invited out to Nike headquarters, even confirmed it. It's not happening. This is cap. And a few other people that I trust their word when it comes to leaking information. They also said there's no plans. This is not happening. Now, I will say that it's a bit weird that somebody would post this initially, then say that Travis Scott and Jordan Brand's relationship is in jeopardy. Not verbatim here, but something along those lines. Some stuff was happening with backdooring shoes, and they're not happy with Travis. And I guess there's even talks about the partnership being severed. Now, when it comes to my sources, I don't get information like that. That's more like tabloid information, and people who have insiders, they might know that, but I don't get that type of information. So whatever I see online is what I know. So what I know is what you guys know. Now, at first, I kind of questioned that information that he shared because of this Travis Scott Air Jordan 4 info. But somebody who I trust that goes by Sneaker Slut on Instagram, I'm sure a lot of you guys know it. He has a lot of connects, has a lot of PEs and stuff like that. He also said that he's hearing the same thing, that there's some trouble. So what I'm trying to get at is, if there's trouble in the relationship, why are they making plans for upcoming releases? It doesn't make sense to me. Yes, there are upcoming releases that have already been planned, and if they do sever ties, then those releases get scrapped. I don't think this is an Adidas situation where they have millions of shoes in a warehouse. A lot of Travis Scott collaborations, they haven't been produced. I mean, some of them have, but the stuff that I'm talking about for summer and fall, those haven't been produced yet. Samples have, but not a retail run. Of course, anything can change, but as everything stands right now, this is not happening. But I will say, I really wish it was, because these are really dope. I love that shade of purple. I mean, they could release a GR version of this without Travis's branding, and I would still cop. I'd actually prefer it without Travis's branding, so at least it'd be an easier pickup. But that's just my opinion. Anyways, let me know your thoughts on this pair. Do you think Jordan Brand should eventually release them, or do you not care? And that's going to do it for this video. Like always, greatly appreciate you guys for watching. If you have a second and haven't done so already, also appreciate a thumbs up. And if you're new here, subscribe by hitting the button below. One more thing, if you haven't done so yet, make sure to turn on the notification bell so you can be alerted every time I drop a new video. Just a reminder, Saturday I did drop a review and a comparison of the Air Jordan 3 Black Cement. There will be a link in the description below. Also, the SF OG t-shirt is back in stock. Still limited to 100. We haven't sold 100 units yet, but once it does, it's done. And there will be a link in the description below to pick that up. Now, this week, I'm going to have more reviews coming. I'm going to have more news videos. Probably a short here or there. I'm probably going to drop a short of the Air Jordan 3 Black Cement tomorrow. And the next review I'm thinking is going to be the Air Jordan 11 Legend Blue. I think I'm going to drop that Saturday. But that's kind of like the lineup for this week. For this video, let me know what you liked or disliked down in the comment section below. As well, if you have any questions, make sure to leave that down below. Again, thanks for watching. Stay tuned to SneakerFiles.com. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe.